Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. In my last video, I showed you where Link2 made this comment about how the Ripple equity is drying up. Well, I was made aware that after they sell this block, the price for the next block is going to go up, apparently because they can't get it as easy now, but I guess partially because of the news. So they are one of my sponsors. Links in the top of the description. My other sponsor, Glint, that link's in the top of the description too. I want to remind you, they're going to have a webinar on the 15th of March where they introduce some of their new app and some of the new things you're going to be able to do on their platform. That's my sponsor too. Links in the top of the description. Check this out. Tim Draper is 100% sure that Bitcoin will hit $250,000 by 2024. Look at this. He says he knows an ETF approval is imminent. Well, I wouldn't count that chicken before it hatched, folks. I think that even if Grayscale, I showed you in the last video, even if Grayscale wins, the SEC does not have to approve the ETF. They can keep stringing this thing out for the next 2 years. Plus, this is not a good indication either. CNBC is doing their job per their masters, and they're going after the Grayscale guy.
What the lawsuit argues, that if you had reduced your fees and stopped, and it was to say that you weren't even allowed, that it violated the trust agreement with FTX, and the FTX debtor shares would be worth 90% more than the current value if you hadn't violated the provisions of the trust.
Our fees have been consistent throughout time, right? And so these are things that are disclosed to every investor.
High for people who can't get their, whose money is just sitting there. That's why it still trades at a 42% discount to net asset value. That's a 1 month low. It's down from 47%, but that is a shocking number. And the idea that you guys keep charging fees for that. I know you say your legal fees are high, and the only reason you've made these arguments is because the lawyers are so good. You're paying top dollar for them, but you got to be kidding me. Well, how do you explain that and argue that away?
Well, so I think last time I was here, we talked about fees as well. Yeah. I said it then, I'll say it again today. We are committed to lowering our fees when GBTC converts to an ETF.
Yeah, but that's like waiting for Godot.
I got some bad news for this guy. I've said it for years now. The SEC has no problem with there being a Bitcoin ETF, but when they give one, it's going to be to Goldman, JP Morgan's, one of those type. It's going to be the boys. It's not going to be Grayscale. There's a reason Gary's been putting off all of these people for a reason. In fact, let me show you this video. This is kind of out of order. I'm going to move it over so we can go ahead and hit it, because I think that this guy knocks it out of the park about what's really going on.
He hits on a couple of things here that I think is important. One is the fact that he's mentioning crypto. Might be the first time I've heard Powell actually start to bring that up. Now, he also mentioned they don't want to stifle innovation. I think that is a very key point. Granted, I think it is a little bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of scenario, because at the end of the piece that we played for you guys, what he really is at is that they're controlling the bank's activity, and they want banks to be able to securely be able to model into against this, which will be a scenario for regulators to come in and play, the trump card in the sense of being able to line the streets with a potential opportunity. This gets back to my whole theory is that the fix is in, and that traditional finance is the onboard route for this to occur. And it's just a matter of them, meaning traditional lawmakers, being able to gut the system and be able to get all of the bad players out, quote, bad players. This will move out some of the innovators as well, and then rebuild, kind of like burn it down first and then rebuild it. That's where I think this is going. And I think the inflationary scenario plays into this, but at the same time, this is a global market. You've heard me say this many times.
Burn it down first. What about that? Now, check this out. Does this look like a company that's worried about losing to you? Washington, D.C. Union Station, Ripple Advertising. We're building a better future for finance. Are you? Crypto means business. Don't keep innovation waiting. Game changer, folks. Game changer. Now, ProCoinNews.com, who is the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Fishing and Hunting Club, XRP decoupling, settlement incoming soon, all good questions. Well, let me prepare you, folks, because I've been around for a while, you know. That's a Sin of a Woman quote, Al Pacino. I've been around, you know. Be prepared when XRP settlement judgment happens. I expect Gary to call it a victory and his media allies to call it an SEC victory. I believe those of us that know all the ins and outs will see a victory that isn't seen by the general public at first. It will be spun as a loss, in my opinion. Let's say the judge, this is just a hypothetical. Let's say that the judge, which this is kind of what I think is going to happen. Let's say that the judge says that certain sales of XRP back in 2013 were securities transactions, but the judge rules that XRP itself, which is the oranges, it can't be a security, and the XRP sold in the secondary market are not securities. In my opinion, the CNBC headline, when they'll already have Gary queued up to come on CNBC, no matter what happens, folks. Write that down too. When they have Gary on, the headline by CNBC, you'll see it down there under the breaking news scroll bar. It'll say, XRP declared a security in court, which we know that these people, the truth is not really important to them. That will be a version of the truth. So in other words, they'll be saying XRP was declared a security in court, which is technically true. Past sales from 2013 were called a security. But it won't be true in that XRP itself and going forward is not a security. And Gary will also at the same time probably, in my opinion, be holding up yes, we had a record fund and we were right, XRP was a security. And that's how this thing will go down. Let me make another prediction. You know those taxpayer-funded bullcrap fake videos that Gary puts on where he's talking about not staking, ha 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 ha, stake as in STAKE. Remember those videos? I'll bet dimes to donuts, that's Mike Novogratz line, that Gary has already produced 2 or 3 versions of one of these fake taxpayer-funded videos for any outcome in the SEC versus Ripple case to spin it like a win for him. Write it down, folks. It's going to happen, okay? That is going to happen. Now, let me give you a plot twist. I'll give you 3 plot twists, folks. Plot twist. Ripple, what if XRP is all of a sudden the only digital asset with clarity after this lawsuit? Okay? Everybody else is nothing but a moving target for a potential SEC lawsuit. And let's say that means that XRP and anything built on the XRP ledger is free and clear. The same way the fake regulatory clarity for Bitcoin and Ethereum have been for the last 3 years. What if all of a sudden the only digital asset that Elon Musk could use on X.com, which his everything app that he's been talking about, what if the only asset that he could use was XRP because it's the only one with clarity in the United States of America, regulatorily? What if the Amazon NFT digital marketplace that they're bragging about, what if XRP was the only digital asset they could use, or things built on the XRP ledger was the only thing they could use in the Amazon marketplace because XRP is the only thing that had clarity? What if Bitcoin, we saw them going after mining equipment selling mining equipment as a security. And I saw John Deaton retweeted something about Elizabeth Warren going after the carbon footprint of companies, and the SEC's trying to put that in their regulatory framework or whatever. And John Deaton made a comment that this is how they're going to go after Bitcoin. What if all Bitcoin, Ethereum, what if all of digital assets were under attack while only XRP could be used in production in any kind of company, whether it's X.com, previously Twitter, or the Amazon digital marketplace, I showed you in my last video that new word that Ripple was using, physical NFTs. I think it was physical NFTs. Same word was used in a lot of the Amazon articles. Let me give you another what if. Since we're talking about plot twists, what if XRP had the first ETF? Oh, what about that? Well, here's Elon Musk from talking about his Everything app. You just tell me what it sounds like to you.
So let's close on Twitter before getting to another couple companies I've heard that you run. The vision you're building towards, I think you've called it X or the Everything app.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Beyond just improving the advertising and what will we be able to do on Twitter in your grandest vision?
Yeah, so X.com is, so I think it's possible to create a very powerful finance experience, basically. Kind of like PayPal is kind of like a halfway version of what I think could be done in payments and finance. And so you want to be, like, let's say, you want to be able to send money easily from one account on X/Twitter to another account effortlessly with one click. You want to be able to, I think, earn interest on the money. You want to be able to have debt, so your interest can go negative. Basically, I think it's possible to become the biggest financial institution in the world. So, just by providing people with convenient payment options, we don't have the time to go into it in detail here, except if we just make the app more and more useful, people will use it more, and it'll be great. So you'll see.
We'll see. Coinbase is now trying to position itself, and Brian Armstrong is too, as they're going to be the I'll call them the brave hearts of the crypto industry. Now they want to fight for us all. Now, for years, Brian Armstrong had .eth in his name, and they thought that Bitcoin and Ethereum were going to be the crypto industry because they had gotten a free pass. And so he was building his whole platform around .eth, okay, and all the tokens on it. Got rid of XRP. Then when lawsuits started flying that would indict XR or Ethereum-based tokens, he did not remove them from the platform, just XRP, okay? We also know, and so anyway, they're running this campaign in the Washington Post called "It's Time to Update the System." And then we have Brian Armstrong tweeting this: "As crypto holders, we need to elect representatives who will fight for our interests and help ensure this technology can benefit humanity. Crypto owners can be powerful constituent, but only if we get organized." In other words, we didn't get organized. We did not do anything to get behind the XRP holders and John Deaton while they were contacting Congress. But now that we're in the microscope, now we need to all get together and get organized. Well, as I said here, and if you look, this is an interesting tweet from Brian Armstrong back in the day, 2015. "Ripple, Stellar, and altcoins are all distraction. Bitcoin is way too far ahead. We should focus on Bitcoin and side chains." Okay, so that's who you're dealing with. Well, I told him, I said, we can talk about you being Braveheart for the crypto industry after you relist XRP and give us our songbird and flair. Until then, sit down, put .eth back in your name. That's the fact, Jack. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I'm all for all this kumbaya in the crypto industry. But some of these people who have been against XRP for all this time, they need to make a few things right.